Hour 1, 9 am, April 22nd. It's the kind of morning that makes you feel untouchable. David Anthony Burke, known to the world as David, wakes up in his home with the kind of life most 20-year-olds only dream about. Banging record deal, a Coachella set, his debut album Withered climbing the charts. He literally built this from nothing. A Houston kid making music while cranking 90s in his bedroom. And now he has everything. But today, it's all about to collapse. Hour 2, 10 am. He checks his phone. There's messages from Celeste. There always are. He had known Celeste since they were 11 years old. She's now 14. For the past year, she had been a near constant presence in David's life, traveling with him to Las Vegas, to London, to Texas, to even meeting David's family. Crazy thing is, her parents had no idea how deep he had gone. He had even paid a friend of hers $1,000 to buy her a secret phone when her parents confiscated the first one. But just think about that for a second. She was 11 years old when they met. 11. And he spent years making sure that nobody found out. Hour 3, 11 am. He moves through his morning. Music, calls, the business of being famous. His team is already planning the next part of his tour. His name's everywhere right now. Playlists, the press, the kind of momentum that takes years to build. But he knows how fragile it is. He's always known. And somewhere beneath the schedule and the strategy is the awareness that Celeste is frustrated at him. She has been for 4 days. Now the messages are getting harder to manage. Hour 4, 12 pm. She texts again. The argument that has been simmering for weeks is escalating. Celeste seems a tad bit jealous. She's seen things online like messages and photos. She feels really discarded. She had given him everything and now she's watching him move through the world like she doesn't exist. The texts are raw and emotional, the way only a 14-year-old can be. I just saw the pictures. Don't lie to me, David. Bro, you're being dramatic. Stop. I'm not being dramatic. I'm done. I'll tell everyone. I swear to God I will. Don't do anything stupid. Watch me. She tells him she'll go public, that she'll tell people everything, that she would end the career the same way he built it, one post at a time. Hour 5, 1 pm. David stares at the screen. The threat lands so much differently than he expected. He has handled problems before. Money, lawyers, distance, but this one's different. Celeste isn't just angry, she means it. She has these messages, she has the images, she has years of evidence of something that would destroy his life entirely. He types back carefully, tries to calm her down. Just talk to me, baby. Don't do anything yet. Why should I? Because I care about you. You know that. Well, you have a funny way of showing it. In his mind, the energy has already shifted. The conversation has completely changed shape. But this is where he really gets dark, because what he types next is very calculated. He's not trying to fix things. He's buying himself time. Hour 6, 2 pm. He goes quiet for a while, steps away from his phone, paces through his house, the Hollywood Hills home that he has paid for, the place that still doesn't quite feel real. He's come way too far. He's out the hood now. Started with nothing in Houston, built something that millions of people listen to, stood on the Coachella stage weeks ago with the whole world at his feet. He thinks about what this exposure would mean. The charges, the headlines, the end of everything he's ever built. Hour 7, 3 pm. The argument in messages intensifies through the afternoon. Prosecutors would later describe it as lengthy and pretty volatile. Celeste is now in Lake Elsinore, an hour south. He knows she's dead serious about the threats. He knows because he knows her. I'm so serious this time. I'm going to leak everything. If you do that, you're going to regret it. Wait, was that a threat? It's not a threat. I'm just saying, think about what you're doing. I have been thinking for weeks. And you're disgusting. And somewhere in these messages, somewhere in this back and forth, investigators will later find out the moment the conversation stops being about relationship and becomes something far more sinister. Hour 8, 4 pm. He makes a decision. He stops trying to talk her out of it. Instead, he tells her to come to him, that they can properly talk, in person, sort this out face to face. She unfortunately agrees. She's 14 years old and she still believes in the version of him she fell for. Just come here, we can chat properly, we can fix this. You think I should come there? Yeah, we can't do this over text. Just come. I'll sort everything out. Fine, but we need to actually talk this time. I know, just come. He opens his phone and arranges an Uber. The driver would later be located by investigators. The route from Lake Elsinore to the Hollywood Hills is logged. Everything is logged, but David doesn't know that yet. Hour 9, 5 pm. Celeste gets into the Uber. Her brother Matthew later tells reporters she had told him she was going to see a movie with David. Her family had no idea of the true nature of what connected her to this man. No idea she had been travelling with him. That he had bought her phones. The drive to Hollywood Hills takes roughly an hour. Now Celeste sits in the back of the car believing she's going to fix something. But she has absolutely no idea that she will not be coming home. And that right there, that is the part that will stay with you. Hour 10, 6 pm. David nervously waits. The house is quiet. He had played out what this exposure would mean, the charges that would follow, the career that would evaporate, the life built from a Houston bedroom dismantled piece by piece. He started with nothing and made himself into something through sheer force of will. He will not let a 14-year-old take it away, is what he tells himself, over and over and over again. Hour 11, 7 p.m. Celeste arrives at the Hollywood Hills home. According to prosecutors, what followed happened very quickly. Almost immediately after her arrival, the court filing states that David stabbed her multiple times and then stood over her and watched her bleed out. There is no argument on record, no confrontation that escalated slowly. Prosecutors allege he had already decided his action before she even walked through the door. The last text she ever sent him was asking what time to tell the driver to drop her off. Celeste was 14 years old. She never sent another message again. The Uber that brought her there is the last record of her being alive. Hour 12, 8 p.m. The house is silent. Burke is alone with what's left of Celeste. Whatever he felt in those minutes, his actions from this point forward are entirely calculated. He doesn't call anyone. He doesn't panic. He begins to think about what comes next in the methodical way that will later disturb everyone who reviews the case. He had built a music career through discipline and focus. He now applies that discipline and focus to making a 14-year-old girl disappear. Hour 13, 9 p.m. Prosecutors allege that David went online and ordered chainsaws. The search history, the purchase record, the delivery timeline, all of it is logged. All of it is recovered by investigators months later. Also allegedly sends a message to Celeste's phone after her death, fabricating a digital trail designed to suggest that she left his home alive. Hey, you get home okay? Let me know when you're back. Now listen, he sent those messages after she was already dead. Really just think about that. He sat there and typed that out knowing exactly what he had just done. That isn't panic, that's planning. Hour 14, 10 p.m. The Hollywood Hills are quiet at this hour. The kind of neighborhood where people value privacy and keep their distance. Burke works through the whole night. Prosecutors allege he set up an inflatable pool in his garage, a detail that would later become one of the most disturbing elements of this case. The DNA recovered from that garage would become a cornerstone of the prosecution. Hour 15, 11 p.m. Somewhere in Lake Elsinore, Celeste's family is beginning to worry. She said she'd be back by now. She isn't answering her phone. Her brother Matthew would later recall the feeling of the evening, the way normal concern slowly shifts into something darker as the hours pass. They don't even know about the Hollywood Hills home, nor hers and David's relationship. Now imagine you're sitting at home just waiting for a daughter or sister who's never walking back through your door. Hour 16, 12 a.m. April 3rd. David is unable to sleep. Prosecutors allege the process of dismembering Celeste's body took place in the garage and not in the back of his mind using the chainsaws he acquired. What is clear from the evidence is that he was organised, that he worked through the night, and that he had barely begun thinking about where the remains would go. He would later drive to Santa Barbara County at least 3 times to dispose of the evidence. Celeste's US passport card was recovered by a state employee off Carolina Highway. Hour 17, 2 a.m. The city sleeps. David hops in his Tesla. The Santa Barbara route at this hour is dark and mostly empty. The kind of drive that takes a long time, but not long enough to change your mind. He makes at least one trip in these early hours, disposing of evidence along the way. He seems pretty calm to drive the speed limit. So the passport card he threw out the window will later be found by a complete stranger on the side of the highway. Now that one piece of evidence is part of what unravels everything. Hour 18, 4 a.m. He returns to the Hollywood Hills. The worst of what needed doing is done. What remains now is a longer, slower work of distance, of creating enough separation between himself and what happened. Like an unhinged man, he puts Celeste's remain in his Tesla. He won't move that car for months. It will sit on Bluebird Avenue decomposing through the spring and into the summer while he goes on tours, does interviews and performs for crowd who have absolutely no idea what is parked on that street. Hour 19, 6 a.m. Dawn breaks over Hollywood Hills. David showers, changes clothes. His house finally looks like a house again. Celeste's family will report her missing. There will be questions. There always are. He genuinely believed he got away with it, and for a while, an uncomfortably long while, it looked like maybe he did. Hour 20, 8 am. Life resumes on the surface. David's phone fills with the normal fame of a young artist. His team have no idea what happened overnight. All of them waking up to a normal Tuesday, texting and emailing a man who spent the night destroying evidence of a child's murder. Hour 21, 10 am. Celeste's family finally report her missing. The search begins in Lake Elsinore. The panic of a teenager who isn't where she said she'd be. The connection between Celeste and a rising music artist is not yet visible to investigators. David is in Hollywood Hills and he knows the call has been made. Still haven't heard from you. Getting worried. Celeste? This psycho sent those messages knowing she would never read them. Hour 22, 12 p.m. Fast forward 5 months later, September 2025, a Tesla is towed from Bluebird Avenue after neighbors reported a smell. Inside, investigators find human remains. The decomposition is advanced. Identification takes time. David is on tour when his name surfaced publicly, performing, doing press, just living his best life, moving through the world of a successful young artist. Hour 23, 2 p.m, April 16, 2026. Officers arrive at a house on Marmont Avenue. David Anthony Burke is taken into custody without incident. The arrest is quiet, undramatic. He's 21 years old, charged with first-degree murder, lewd, and lascivious acts with a minor under 14, and mutilation of human remains. The death penalty is on the table. His lawyers say he's innocent though. David appears in court for arraignment. He pleads not guilty. Outside the courthouse, Celeste's mother speaks to reporters. She says she wants justice for her daughter and that she will not stop until everyone responsible is held accountable. If you made it this far, then you already know what this channel is about. Hit subscribe since we drop these videos every single week and you don't want to miss what's coming next. And if this one kept you watching, go check out our Charlie Kirk video. Same format, same detail, but a completely different story. It's on the channel right now. Go watch it.